Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, 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 bow,
Ball out.
bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow,
Ball out.
bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling the losers. Watch for the jackets at night, they be cruising. I can put together. AR Kinsingetta. My hitters be tougher than leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the FN. Step in with my best friends. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out, ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy and crazy. And if you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tay Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fellas to made men. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out, get called out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out, ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out, ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out, ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out.
Sunday Night Live, Boss Cowboy Sports in the building. Man, we got Geechee as the wingman. We got the man himself, Boss Cowboy, leading off the charge, and yours truly, the OC. Brady wins another Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? We got the race card, a race crisis. Man, we got the draft. We got Cowboy news and much more. Boss Cowboy, what you want to hit him with first?
First thing I want to do is acknowledge my boy that's in the building, my boy Geech. Yeah, Geech is definitely in the building, and happy birthday. This is his birthday, man, and it's a Super Bowl birthday, and he decided to actually kick it with us, so.
Happy birthday, Geech.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, so good to see my boy. So, yeah, I guess we can get right back into it. So, I don't want to start too general, but we definitely starting the off season. It's official. Mm-hmm. So obviously the talks that we're going to be having are going to be geared towards correcting the Cowboys. I mean, would that be fair, fellas?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Very fair. Very fair.
All right. So let's get right into it. So one thing, obviously, we just want to kind of bring up is maybe observations from the Super Bowl. And just talk about, my boy Sam said what's going on. What's up going on, my guy? Sam, I see you, my brother. So, yeah, we want to talk about this Super Bowl from a Cowboy perspective and then kind of see what we got out of it and what are the changes that we think the Cowboys might do because of the results of the champion. Since Geech's birthday, I think it's just respectable for letting him go first. What you think, OC?
Yeah, Geechee, man, lead us off, brother. What you got?
The Super Bowl, I think it didn't go like most of us expected it to go. We probably was looking for an offensive shootout on both sides. I know a lot of people going to take from it that they think because of Tampa Bay defense, we need to go defense all throughout the draft, which I don't agree with. I think it also shows, as great as Patty is, you need all your pieces around you to work together. It's a team sport at the end of the day. And I hope people that watched it understand, even with us having Dak does need everything around him to be good, because all quarterbacks do for them to thrive.
Yeah, man. OC, what you got?
I mean, I got plenty to say about this, man. You know, we've heard for years about the Patriots, and we've heard about, you know, Belichick, the Patriot way, the Belichick way. You know what I think what this Super Bowl proved is it was the Brady way, man, for many years. Because without a top-tier quarterback that can make plays in big games, you're going to be hapless. And how that relates to the Cowboys is that's exactly what we saw this year. When Dak Prescott was not starting on that field, the Cowboys offensively, with all the weapons they had, they looked completely hapless. And what I'll also mention is that what won this game, yeah, I don't say you go all defense. I think that Tampa Bay, what they really showed was a balanced approach to winning the football game. And, you know, we always say that, hey, in the playoffs, man, whoever can play sound run defense and run a football game normally wins. Even in the shootout NFL that we have today, that still stands true. And Tampa Bay proved that today. They started off effectively running that football, play action pass, getting Tom Brady warmed up in good situations, getting Gronkowski one-on-one underneath, and then hit him up.
Man, I ain't mean to cut you off, man. You was preaching so hard. Keep going, OC. Keep going, my man.
And listen, I mean, look, we talked about this privately, OC, about Ndamukong Suh, how dominant he was in this game. And Ndamukong Suh always makes himself about $5 million in about 4 games. Because as soon as the playoffs come, Ndamukong Suh acts a complete donkey. He acts a fool. He plays his heart out, and then he gets signed on 1-year deals. But you know what? Listen, Ndamukong Suh, honestly, and in fairness to him, he's been pretty consistent as a run stopper all year for the Buccaneers. And back to the Cowboys, hey, we've said this for about 28 years now, right? We need somebody that can play that one gap, brother. We need somebody that can effectively penetrate and stop that run. And what we saw a veteran pass rusher get off, a Barnett, and we saw a dominance performance by those 2 linebackers. Because if we look at this football game versus the Cowboys, what we see is that they didn't even blitz that much. Tampa Bay didn't blitz that much. Their linebackers and their front 4 and Jason Pierre-Paul, those guys were making plays, and the back end was playing tough, and they were playing sound defense, mostly right, taking away Tyreek Hill. But you know what? Those boys play sound. They play physical. So if you're taking notes, you see a balanced approach. And that's what the Cowboys need to take away from the Super Bowl.
Man, OC. Man. All right, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, man, on pretty much almost everything you said. A couple of things that I kind of take away from this from a Cowboy perspective, because we're a Cowboy page. I didn't care who won. You know, and I actually did care who won. I wanted Kansas City to win because that would have strengthened us and our argument for BPA at 10. I'm looking at everything from a Cowboy perspective. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that hurt us now. Geechee and I talked about that earlier before you came on. Is now I'm seeing it in the thread a lot. It's a lot of defensive interest, and that's natural when you see the champion, and when you see a champion knock out another heavyweight. I want to kind of balance out the analysis that I think also happened. I think Andy Reid's son had a lot to do with the lack of concentration that seemed like it was happening with Kansas City.
That's
and
true.
I did a late show with Big Game James yesterday, and he brought that up. He's a guy that I'll be honest and say that he has a good feel. I would call it an omen feel. You know what I mean? To where it's not really directly X's and O's, but it's almost like it's one of those things you have to factor into a game. Like a man trying to get prepared for the biggest game while he's also dealing with one of the biggest crises. You know? So he actually warned me about that yesterday, and I came into the game almost now expecting to kind of see the flatness that we saw, because it was a lot of drops. It was a lot of stuff that was ugly in that game that I think swung the momentum, because Tampa came in there like it was a Super Bowl. Kansas City came in there like it was Week 16. Just to me. And then another observation is, I just want to ask a question. What was the garbage yards? I've been, I thought the garbage
Oh,
yards was easy, man. I know
yeah,
you want to say something about that. Go take
yeah,
over.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, everybody always screaming about these garbage stats that Dak put up, and like me, you've been saying for the longest, boss, it's not as easy as people think. Like defenses are out there putting up or saying we don't want you to score no more. No, they want you. They don't want you to score. They take pride in holding that offense to 9 points. Like, and it goes with that too. Like that scheme that Todd Bowles has, they all bought in. So it wasn't just the players, but we definitely do need a one tech. We need a fast line like we had, and a safety like Winfield too.
Yeah.
So it's certain people that need to have a defense like how they put on the field.
Man, and listen. First, I want to. Yeah. So I didn't know where the garbage yards. I was like, I thought it was
Yeah.
easy, and I ain't see
No.
that. And so it's one of those things to where, hey, we getting ready to go in this offseason. I'm seeing a lot of people that's still heavy, and I'm cool with that on D. I just want to do it smart. Now I want to ask y'all a question. Y'all be real with me. OC, Geach, and everybody, you got to participate in this. Listen, everybody got to participate. And I'm peeping right now, Gary. I'm seeing your comments. You killing the comments, bro. I'm going to get to you. You killing it. I love everything you saying. Free agency, overdraft winning now. I'm seeing what you're saying. I know exactly where you're going. We going to get to that. I think you're saying some good stuff in the comments. I want to bring up something to get a feel for what type of fans we dealing with on this show. And I'm asking you, OC, I'm asking you, Geach. I want to see what kind of guys you are. I'm going to give you some options. You ready? All right, I'm going to give you some options. Matter of fact, because it's America's team, I'm going to put up the America's flag. All right, so this is option one. Do you think we dealing with this? Do you think we dealing with this? Or do we need to just humble down and do this? You can only pick one today. So y'all talk to me. I'm going to do it again. Are we dealing with this? Brady as the GOAT? Did we see some typical Brady help? Did we see some marketing and PR? Or do we just need to humble ourselves? You first.
Yeah, listen, man. I say this. First of all, let me make a confession, okay, to everybody, okay?
All right.
I actually did pick Kansas City to win this game, okay?
All
right, and I was wrong, okay? I was wrong. I was 20-something points wrong, okay?
Yeah.
And so listen, man, Tom Brady and his team won this game. We can say whatever we want about referees, this, that, and the other. Yeah, marketing is a factor, right? But here's the deal, man. At the end of the day, it's a throw and catch league, right? And it's a blocking and tackling league. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team outperformed Kansas City Chiefs. And if you're looking at this thing, and I alluded to it earlier in my comments, listen, there's a methodology and a way of making adjustments from probably week 8 and beyond. That's when the Tampa Bay Bucks got hot. Just to answer your question, I'm giving some context. And so they were hot all the way going into the playoffs, and they played well at the end of the year. And so there's something to say about the preparation, the nuances, and also the adjustments that are made, man, by Tom Brady, man, and by the people around him. So to me, I'm giving him a third one, man. I'm saying the dude is a GOAT. He's a GOAT.
You giving him
He's
the
a GOAT.
GOAT flag. All right.
He's a GOAT.
So, Peach, what you see today? Did you see
I'm
GOAT?
gonna have to. I'm gonna have to argue OC on that. So I'm gonna go with number one.
Ooh.
And it's just like every Super Bowl, Brady, like it has an asterisk somewhat by it. The first one is the tuck rule. Then in Carolina, John Case, he kicks the ball out of bounds once they take the lead to give him the ball at the 40-yard line. Like he does have the it factor, but at the same time, he gets a lot of calls that other quarterbacks and other teams don't get. Like that PI on Bashar Breeland, like that was incidental contact. That shouldn't have been a flag. Like that
Yeah.
changed the game.
Yeah, I
Like
think
it's
that's
just
and it was one on Matthews that I was
on
like, come
Matthew.
on, man, stop,
That was
man.
ticky tacky, you
Yeah,
know.
that was
And
super
it's just
ticky
like
tacky,
Brady
man.
just seems to get these calls that other teams don't get. So then you got the spy geek. Like every Super Bowl somewhat has something around it. And I still can't see, like, Brady has great defenses almost every time he's won, but yet he's always put above everybody else. Now, I won't say he has the it factor to him. He is a great leader. The guys, you know, they gravitate around him, but I'm going to go with number one because I just feel like it's a lot of things that factor into the Super Bowls he's won, and I think he's got a lot of help in a lot of them, too.
Yeah, so you going with, let me make sure I'm understanding you right. You going with this right here. That's
Yeah.
what you going? Okay, I'm with you. I'm going with GOAT. I mean, I don't want to, but I'm giving him the GOAT flag. I mean, he has at this point more Super Bowls than any franchise, and just because the calls that I could question, because I can question calls, I really can. I'm open to question calls, but we talking about generally maybe 6, right? So it's a lot of play up to those 6 questions. I did think it was he got some help tonight. I definitely believe that he got some help tonight. But I'm still not gonna take away and say that man not the GOAT. Just not. I mean, and that, listen, I was saying Montana was the GOAT. That was hard to change me, bro. So, and I don't want to be, and I know I'm never a hater. I'm never a hater, but I also want to be ready to evolve when a man has earned it, in my opinion. So I think it's a combination of both, but I still gotta put him in the GOAT category. And sometimes cats are favored because of how you carry yourself. You know what I mean? That's also part of winning, in my opinion. Like, for instance, like I teach my sons when they're in karate and they was top in the state, I was teaching them, you got to go talk to those judges. You got to go talk to those refs. They got to know you, like you, see you develop. So when they're judging you with their heart. And I teach them that because it's like that's also a part of winning. You got to work all the angles that you can. And Brady, I don't see him as a sycophant at all. No kiss button. I don't see it. I think sometimes he over the top. I don't like how he don't shake hands. I do call it passion, but at the same time, there's some things about him that's too competitive that will get annoying. But at the same time, he the GOAT.
Boss Cowboy, to your point, man, I'm going to jump in the comments. Great comment by Pastor Douglas. 2 great comments. He said this. He said the score was 31-9. The game wasn't even close. And he followed that one up by saying he beat, and I'll read this, he beat Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes in the same year, in the same playoffs. Those are 3 top-flight quarterbacks. And so Gary Aaron, giving him some love, he said that the refs didn't make Kansas City drop all those balls, and the refs didn't hold them to 9 points.
Yeah.
So I got to give a man his respect.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I like this fight. It's a fair fight. To me, when I weigh it, I got to say the man to go. Now, I do want to recap, to me, one of the best parts of the game, because you know I'm from Carter. We crazy. Man, that boy Winfield crazy. This is one of my favorite parts of the game. As a defensive back, Romo was like, I don't like that. That's not sportsmanlike. Well, where was his flag when he did it to him? Huh? We can't have memories? Huh? When the defense can't have memories? Can y'all talk to me? Am I tripping? The defense can't remember what you did to me on national TV? Get him. I'm pro Winfield. I'm rocking with you, homeboy. I loved it. Put it in his face, because he put it in your face. That's all I got to say.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it too, man. Listen, man, this is football, man. This is professional football, man. Like, he didn't hit him, punch him, kick him, spit on him. He didn't do anything like that. He held up 2 fingers, held the do sign, and put it right in his grill. Yeah. Hey, I get it. The man did it to him. It's football, man. Football. If you give it, you got to be able to take it, man. That's how it is, man. If you give it, you got to be able to take it, man.
I wouldn't have said a word. Yep. I wouldn't have said a word because he did him like that. He go wave deuce at you. Come on, man. So y'all the only ones get the high step. Y'all the only ones get to throw balls at us. Y'all the only one now, man. Defense get to have fun too. I'm with you, Winfield. And Winfield was my top safety. I'm gonna brag on that all the time. You know what? Because I was getting hit when I wasn't saying that. Like when everybody, well, you putting Winfield up there? You got Winfield? He's 5'9". User and the end guy that you coach, most of those guys look like you, but most of your coaches don't look like you. Arian did something different, and that should be recognized. I'm not gonna skip that and act like that's not no big deal. I think that's a huge deal, and also to just also add a little salt to it. It's sad. It's also sad. When I look at one of my friends, he posted this, and I asked him. I said, "Man, I want to add this to my show because I think it's a good thought." My boy Nude said, the biggest victim of this NFL conspiracy, this man not only didn't get a head coaching job, he also has no contract with the Chiefs. When he goes to renegotiate, they're going to say, what about the Super Bowl? Damn. Damn, what y'all got on that, man?
False Cowboy. Well, we noticed that Eric the Enemy really didn't get a look this offseason, right? Yeah. With all the head coaching vacancies, didn't really get a look for the Texans either. Right. Because Eric the Enemy is known as an outspoken African-American man. And many times if he's working for a billionaire owner that happens to be white and used to be in a dominant position, people tend to not cater too much unless they're freed in their thinking to an outspoken, highly opinionated African-American male. And so this worked against Eric the Enemy in the interview process this offseason. And I noticed this too, and I'll go on record of saying this. I saw, and I won't say names, but if you watch the post show for the Super Bowl, you saw a certain commentator put his head down when Byron Leftwich was mentioned as putting together a...
Hold on, OC, I just lost you, man. I'm so sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that when Brian Leftwich was given credit as the offensive coordinator and putting together a great game plan at the end of that Super Bowl, if you go back and look at the highlight, you see a certain commentator or two put their head down and it got really quiet. So a lot of times these guys are not recognized for the work they do. We talked about the defensive coordinator being a possible candidate. This was over, a month or so ago now. Wow, you heard it here first. Boss Cowboy Sports. We told you the man was an excellent defensive coordinator. And he showed that today. He showed that today.
Yeah.
So none of those guys that you just showed on the screen has got an adequate opportunity or look. And unfortunately, what's unspoken, but what is loud is clear, is that we don't want African-American head coaches leading our organizations if we can avoid it by all costs. That's what it's saying that today's NFL culture amongst the ownership still is today.
Gotcha. And I think that's, what's obvious. It might not be obvious to some because some people have a different opinion. There's some people I guarantee that's listening to the show and they heard you and they listening right now and they shaking their head. They saying, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think there's any issue at all. Sometimes people sincerely feel that. Sometimes the worst of people know that it's not like that, but they gaslighting us. They pretending as if it don't exist when they know it exists well. So I want to kind of talk about something that even came from Tony Dungy. And it's about the times we living in. Like, don't give us a month to celebrate our history when you don't also give us opportunity to showcase our skills. Like, on the cool. Let's just be honest, man. Because it's not right. And I think sometimes it's accidental, but I'm going to talk about how to fix it. Because there's ways I think you can fix this. For instance, my boy Tony Dungy said it hurt in 1993. That ain't too long ago. To have coordinated the number one defense in the NFL. and not get an interview for one of the 5 head coaching openings that year, it hurts even more to see African American coaches going through the same thing 30 years later. So, I want to just talk about solutions. I ain't the type. You'll never hear of Boss Cowboy, the OC, Geechee, and anybody that's affiliated with the BCS brand. We talk about solutions. I think one of the things that need to happen ASAP is we need to get more billionaire moguls to start putting their name in a hat to become owners. Because we're asking people that don't really know us to know us. That's hard for anybody. I admitted last night when I first went to the University of Houston that I was in a culture shock because I didn't know OC and Geechee how to interact with other cultures. It wasn't even about interacting with whites. University of Houston is a melting pot, so it's everything. So when I would go into the classroom and I would see Asians and I would see Indians, I didn't know how to interact. I was uncomfortable. I wasn't racist, but I was uncomfortable because I didn't know them. I didn't know their culture. But then after going to school for a while and then going to school, getting to know them, studying with them, you start noticing, hey man, they know different. They know different. And I became, because of the diversity environment, a well-rounded, better person and more educated on the differences of others. And I was very comfortable. And I became one of the top sales agents in the country. And I interacted with everybody of all colors and cultures and ate their food, and it became comfortable. But we dealing with an NFL to where the people that make decisions on hiring and coaches are 98% white. That's like asking an all-white jury to be my peers as they're judging my case. No, there's a certain type of judgment that goes with a diversity of people that's analyzing who to bring in the building. So I'm calling on the moguls to start putting their name in a hat. I also go do a better job of investigating how we can get more GMs and more owners. That's not just black. I want to see women. I want to see Hispanics. I want to see Asians. I want to see pure diversity so we can get out of the foolishness that we seeing. That's just sometimes not racist. Sometimes it's bias. But bias can have racist results.
That's a powerful statement. Yeah, that's a powerful statement. Geechee, what you got on that?
I agree totally with them that it starts at the top. So when you have nothing but predominantly white owners, you got to think about, they're not probably used to dealing with blacks like that. But on the other side of it, you would think with the NFL being 75% black, you would want more black coaches or GMs because they interact better with those players because they understand them and where they come from. But then again, the owners got to deal with those GMs and coaches, and I think that's where the disconnect is coming in at. So when you got to make a rule just to have black coaches interviewed, that right there alone is a problem in itself. And even with that rule, it's still not changing nothing. So the solution definitely has to be is that Goodell or somebody has to step in and tell these owners, like, we got to have a more diverse NFL. Because those owners also vote on who gets to own a team if a team comes up. So we get a guy like Shaka Khan in Jacksonville, who's not even American, that got a chance to get a team before a black man who could be from America. So it's definitely not fair. Like, to see it like that, and it's sad in 2021, we still going through these things. But it definitely has to change. But I think also the players, by now, with them not shitting up and dribbling, that's also going to help it too. Like, these players going to have to start coming together and fighting back against these owners, because at the end of the day, without the players putting the product on the field, the owners are not going to make any money.
Right. And I think Pastor Douglas from the Big Time Show said it best. You can't dress it up. It's racist, systematic.
Yeah.
Exactly. And see, I want to talk about this imbalance because I do understand as a black man being more comfortable with people that's maybe like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. Like sometimes you more familiar with people because they eat your food or they listen to your music, and it's a little bit in a relationship world easier to relate with people that kind of have similar backgrounds. But these type of environments create racism. It does. It does. So I want to be balanced in the approach and not just start assigning motives to individuals, but I want to attack the system that give us these racist results, because the racist results is real. So my boy Gary, I want you to come in more on this. He said this. I'm not understanding, but I want to kind of get his thoughts on this. He said to have a Rooney Rule to begin with is racist. I don't know what that means. You might have to elaborate more. I don't think it's racist. I think a lot of times you have to create systems to force diversity, because in this country, let's be honest, we usually have to fight, die, get hung, go through terrorism and all kind of stuff just for equal treatment. Nobody was asking when we was going through civil rights for better treatment. We was asking for just, don't make me go all the way down the street because you don't want me to drink at your water fountain. My kid needs to go to the bathroom now. But you want to treat, no, so I'm not gonna let people flip like we don't need systems in place to cause and make a better, fair environment. You have to do that. So the Civil Rights Act was to stop all the discrimination in the legal systems that was discriminating against not just blacks but a lot of minorities. So now, yeah, we need more Rooney Rules. We need more. I would say it like this: we need quotas. We need quotas. We need just like a jury. You want a certain amount of people to represent because in business they do it all the time in corporate America. If you go be in a black neighborhood, most people at a bank is gonna be black. If you're in a Hispanic neighborhood, they're gonna hire like the community they represent. But we got the representatives of the NFL as a majority of black, and the people that's operating and managing those guys are majority white. And you keep getting systematic racism. So no. No, we need more Rooney Rules. We need more incentives. We need more ways to cause a better product and a fairer America.
And I think that this will help the ownership if we incorporated equal opportunity laws like across NFL teams, meaning equal opportunity employment laws, meaning that they have to interview for any head coaching position at least 2 non-white candidates. They have to give minorities a chance to interview for the position, and that is mandatory. It's a rule. Furthermore, to your point, Boss Cowboy, that we should have at least a representation of, just start off at 30%. 30% of your staff have to be diverse. It can't be an all-white staff. We got to have some diversity. And if you meet certain metrics as an organization, you can get an extra compensatory pick in the draft. Give them a reward for it, right? Show them initially starting off, although I don't really think you should have to, but I think for some of these guys, it would incentivize them to be more diverse if they knew that they had an opportunity to make their team better through the draft and getting extra picks if they did agree to make the organization more diverse, which is a reward for them getting out of their comfort zone. Because a lot of this stuff is just comfort zone. To your point, Boss Cowboy, some of it is racism. Some of it is just that I'm more comfortable with people that I grew up with that are billion-dollar people, and I don't know how to relate to a guy from Third Ward and that had no money and that grew up in gunfights. I have no point of reference on how to deal and relate to this person. So I'm more comfortable with what I'm comfortable with.
Right. And so, Gary, I'm going to take one more comment from you. You said, but you have people, non-white, still controlling it. Okay? That's just why my first comment, Gary, just being all the way straight up with you, was that we also have to lobby our billionaires and say, hey, get in the game. Get in the ownership game. Okay? So that we can have it, attack it from multiple ways. get you some minority owners. And I'm not just saying black. I want you to understand that. I want a lot of diversity. I don't want just black. I want a representation of America, which is a diverse place, a melting pot. Okay? That's what I want to see. And I'm tired of crying and a lot of people crying and they have no ideas. So what you getting on this show is ideas. And I ain't talking to you, Gary. I'm just saying to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's ideas like let's attack it from maybe a quota system. Let's attack it to trying to encourage the Jay-Z's of the world, the Oprahs of this world to get in the game. Get in the game. If you want to make a difference and you became a mogul, you have the ability to do it, and we encourage you to do it so we can see a difference in this product that we send in the NFL, because right now it's ugly. I'm just being all the way honest. But Gary, great questions and great back and forth, because I like people that sometimes disagree, maybe a little bit, but we handled it the right way. And I think your comments was great. So I want to move to something real quick. We gonna go back to the Cowboys. Let me see what your boy Boss gonna bring up, because we got some good topics here. All right, we gonna do this one. Bingo! Cowboys will sign or tag Dak Prescott, have no medical concerns after 2 ankle surgeries. They will sign or tag, so listen, don't lose it. Don't go crazy. Sign or tag. So, let me start with my boy Geechee. When he take that breath, oh man, Geech, my boy Geech take that breath, he pissed. Go ahead, my brother, talk to us.
Man, it's just so old and redundant. Oh my God, like, why are we still negotiating through the media? Why are they still trying to use this surgery now to lowball Dak? Like, we all know, the whole world knows now, like, y'all gotta tag him because y'all don't have a deal yet, or y'all haven't signed him yet. Like, we know that. Y'all not gonna just let him walk and not get nothing for it.
Right.
You know? So why keep doing this in the media? Like, it's not working. Like, this extra publicity is for what? What are we doing it for? Like, that I just don't understand it no more. Like, just get the deal done so we can get the offseason going. We can attack free agency, and then we can get ready for the draft. Like, it's simple. Like, I don't even know why we even fighting over it as a fan base anymore. We've seen with both teams. We still fighting
that, we fighting.
We still fighting it. We still fighting it. When we seen with these two teams that played tonight, when you have the right caliber quarterback and you build the right team around him, you can go places. We have that type of caliber quarterback. We just have to put a team around him now. Why are we steady fighting for pennies in the media? Like, just pay him. Get it over with.
Right. Nah, I feel you, man. Good point, man. Like, I know you want to swing at that OC. I can hear you, man. I can just even hear you, man. I can sometimes just feel when you want to swing at that.
Yeah, here's the deal. Latest reports come out today that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott are not even close in terms of a contract extension negotiation. So we know that they're going to exclusive tag Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. And here's the deal. I mean, as a Cowboys fan, look, I'm starting to swing the pendulum in my mind, and I'm starting to say, listen, if you guys don't get or see a path to get this resolved close to the NFL draft, you may want to go ahead and try to get a quarterback. Because if you franchise tag Dak Prescott, I'm telling you right now, he's not signed before the first play of the first game of the 2021 NFL season. He is out. Deuces, chunk, gone. Adios, amigos. See ya later.
All of that.
He's out of here. So you got one more year with this man. So if you ain't gonna sign this dude, you need to go ahead and draft a quarterback.
Ooh, you went there, man. Yeah. Boy, listen. Ooh, I'm so tempted. Don't do me, because I would call an audible on this show, because I'm ready to talk about that too.
Check the play. Check it. Check. Check, check,
Let him
check.
go.
See, but my
Give him
next
a little
topics are
sneak
so fire. I can't do
Hot,
that.
hot, hot. Hey, this hot call.
Stay
Hot.
disciplined. I'm
Hot.
gonna stay disciplined. I'm gonna stay disciplined because I got some fire stuff coming, man. Believe
Give him a
me.
little sneak peek, boss.
Believe me. I'm not gonna pull the audible, but I'm tempted. I'm tempted. You know what? Y'all
Hey,
want
hey,
it? I'm gonna give it to you.
You got an 8-man front, homie. You better check out
I'ma
of
give
it.
it to you. Listen,
got an
you
8-man
talking-
front. You better
I'ma
check
give-
out.
Hey, the team is spoken. Geechee want it. OC want it. So Boss Cowboy want it. Let's go. What you gonna do?
Now what you do? Now what you do? Thank you, Boss Cowboy, because I'm ready for that, Boss Cowboy, because I always
Through
come
to
to
you.
you ready. So here it is. So here it is. This is what you do. You do exactly what you tried to do
Hold on,
when you
real
hired
quick.
your new.
Hold on, real quick. Y'all pause. I did say we're about solutions, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, here it is. I'm about to give it to you.
All right.
This is what you're gonna do because see what Jared does. Jerry ain't trying to be cute here, but Jerry do a lot of cute stuff here. And so what Jerry does is he has guilty conscience. And so when Jerry has a guilty conscience, he tries to get the girl that look like his ex-girl, and so that he feels better about how he treated his ex-girl. So the closest ex-girl that he can get in this draft will be called a Justin Fields. So
You
if he
think
done
Justin
signed that,
Fields, really?
I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones has that make right in him, right? He has that make right in him. Has that make it right. The old school philosophy, make it right. Even when he was wrong, he wants to make it right.
And my boy
so
William Peel say tag and trade.
And so tag and trade is a smart thing to do, but the Cowboys are not known to be that creative. That's the whole thing, William. They're not known to be that creative and that savvy. I haven't seen the Cowboys tag and trade anybody, so I don't think they operate like that, right? So I think what he does is that if you were looking at somebody, you look at an athletic guy that you can plug into the system that's African American, that looks like Dak, reminds you of Dak, can maybe throw the ball kind of like Dak, and then you rock with Justin Fields. That's what I think they do, Boss Cowboy.
Oh man, I'm not going to even see you try to give me
No.
that cheese. I'm not taking that
No.
cheese. Go get him, get him,
No,
bro.
no,
Get him,
no.
Go.
I don't think they go that route because I feel like they not even sold on that. Like, honestly, let's be real with it now. So if they haven't paid Dak, even though he's progressed the way he has, why would they want a quarterback like that if they don't believe in Dak?
So are you saying they could?
I don't think they go the route of Fields. I think they try to get Wilson. Knowing Jerry them, they may try to sign one of these middle of the road free agent quarterbacks. And
my God.
for development at quarterback and see that the weapons we have.
I can't believe we having this conversation.
The weapons we have is going to be good enough for any quarterback we put in that system. So that's the next thing I think they're going to try to sell us on.
Yeah, but we know it ain't true, Geechee, because we saw it this season.
We know that. We know.
If the fans, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was about to say we know that because if you see the offensive production that dropped off when Dak got out, then why didn't those weapons carry the other quarterbacks the same way they were supposedly carrying Dak? So they learned from it, but it seems like they still haven't learned because they still talking about tagging him. And then you still can't trade Dak either because Dak really holds the power in that because he can sit out, he can not sign a tag all the way to the last day of the tag period and hold them hostage. So now if you want to play dirty, Dak can play dirty with them too. So this can get real ugly both ways.
Leon said this is disrespectful.
It is. It is. It's blatant disrespect.
My boy Gary said they're unsold on Dak, or they would have signed him at $19 million 3 years ago. Hold on, Gary, that's way too low.
That's true, Gary.
No,
maybe
19
like
million. He said 19 million. That's
19 million is low, but I get what he's saying. I get where he's going with that.
Yeah.
28.
Okay, if he's saying that in general, yeah, I got him. But
yeah, he's saying it in general.
Yeah, okay. And then Pastor Douglas said from the Big Time Show, they don't fully believe in Dak. So
I
it's
believe
like
you
a
now,
lot of that
Rev.
being echoed right now.
I believe you, Rev.
Yeah, so So,
But yeah, there's a whole quarterback shakeup coming, and the OC said this a couple shows ago. I told you that about half the starting quarterbacks are going to be not the starting quarterback is going to be different starting quarterbacks on about half of the NFL teams this coming year. Listen, the Eagles are already trying to get a quote unquote Matthew Stafford type deal for Carson Wentz. They're already shopping him. They're shopping this boy. So when he gets out of town, because somebody, I guess, if they can convince somebody or hoodwink him to believe in Carson Wentz that he's the man, then they go get 2 first-round picks for Carson Wentz. Boss Cowboy, how does that affect the NFC and what we do with Dak Prescott?
man, you ain't finna flip this show. But I'm gonna let you flip the show, bro.
We talking about all angles. We covered angles, boss.
I'm going with y'all today.
We covered angles, boss.
Hey,
we covered all angles.
Hey, listen. So you brought up Carson Wentz, so we go there. All right, we go there. All right. I'm gonna start with this. My boy Ryan Clark. He said, "Oh man, can't believe Carson Wentz is going to get the trade he requested. Can't wait for Brent Favre to tell Carson to hush those opinions and for Dick Vermeil to rip Carson's character like he did Deshaun's too. They had a lot to say last week. I won't hold my breath though." See,
My.
So, I mean, you brought up Carson Wentz. I think that's a good time to talk about Ryan Clark's statement because he got a lot of action on Twitter on that. And I think this goes almost back to our conversation earlier. The systematic biases that also have racist results. And I said it, I think, the right way. I don't think most of these people are actually just outright just burning crosses. I don't believe it. I believe a lot of these people aim to not be that way. But they go on with their comfort and their favorites, and their favorites are systematically coming out of the wrong, well, in a biased way. So, like, if you even look at Carson Wentz when he came out his first 3 games, look at this. This is his first 3 games, and look at the analogy. It's amazing. Oh, my God. He said, this is from Brian Baldinger. Reputable.
Yeah.
He's Peyton Manning pre-snap. That's a what? He's Aaron Rodgers post-snap. This is when he was 3-0 as a rookie. You gave him all that after 3 games? You seeing that boy like a son. Because, man, that's a lot to say after 3 games. Now, remember at the end of that season, Dak smacked the mess out of Wentz. He never, ever got treated like that. Ever. Never got a compliment like that. And then look at this. This 2018. This is from DJ, right? One of the top scouts. Look at this list. This is horrible.
Wow.
This is not good foresight or hindsight. This is in 2018, y'all. This was after Mahomes. This was after Watson already did his thing. This was after Dak getting Rookie of the Year. Dak didn't even make his list. Look at this list. This is crazy.
Wow.
Dak didn't make this list.
Wow.
So it goes to, it's crazy. Then you look at Wentz now. He getting traded.
Crazy.
And guess what? Wherever he goes, the optimism clock is going to start over. Because everybody that's hiring them look like him. So they go believe in him. It's going to be just like Sam Bradford, who went from team to team and got injured or was okay. But when all your bosses look at you, you get that son treatment. You know? So yeah, I know OC want to get in and bang this, but that was just a funny segue to my boy Wentz. Go ahead, OC.
No, I just had a question. You're basically saying that he has the complexion to get the protection. I mean, that's what you're saying here, Boss
Yeah,
Cowboy.
definitely.
Let, let's just summarize this thing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Very true.
It's just what it is. It's and you know, I'm glad that we also went to solutions and we already dealt with solutions on this, but it's so many signs of it. Obviously none of this is you can pin it down. There's no real smoking gun on what we're talking about. But we're in a judgment business, and in a judgment business, I'm not saying podcasters, I'm saying the people that make decisions. It just always goes back to you got to change it up. Now, let me go back to Dak too. Just going back to Dak, because there's been a lot of noise also coming from former players. Let's take two of them real quick, if y'all don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been saying this. My boy Tony Casillas said this, and this came from the Instagram from Dallas Cowboy Squad. They put out a lot of good stuff. I think that's my boy Will Steele too. If that's Will Steele, man, shout out to my boy. But on this meme, he said, people ask me how I feel watching the Dallas Cowboys, and I say, and I say bitterness. Ooh. Everything else comes before winning. I swear I've been saying that. I guess it's because of the magnitude of the brand and what Jerry has bestowed on everyone. And he's remarkable at that. But he hasn't been remarkable as an owner and general manager. He hasn't been remarkable about putting a winning product on the field. And it's been really, really disappointing. I love it when our ex-players speak with their heart, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that he spoke with his heart on that. He said bitterness. When you love this organization, that's how you feel. Let me look at my boy Emmett. Okay? And we go address this. I ain't gonna read the long one. I'm gonna read the short one. Let's go with the short one. Golly, it was long. I'm finna read all that. I might read it. I am gonna read it because it's good. No, let me read that thing because it's good, man. I gotta read the whole thing. The only answer I can give is the Cowboys are uncertain whether or not he's the future of the Cowboys. Outside of that, if he was the complete future of the Dallas Cowboys, they would make no bones about giving him a contract. I mean, at the end of the day, Tony Romo, they was committed to Romo right off the rip. Right off the rip. And he came in and replaced Drew Bledsoe. And I mean, he's not the biggest guy. He's not the most flashiest guy. And he's not the fastest guy either. And he had challenges. But there was a commitment to Tony Romo. There is not a commitment to Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are leaving it open to everybody like us to question, to pick holes at it. Now, this gonna sound just like Tony Casillas, this next part. And I don't know if it's because they want him to stay relevant in the news and be newsworthy, but at some point, this is nitpicking. It's going to filter its way right into the entire team, and it's going to hurt the entire organization at the end.
Truth.
All right,
Nothing
man.
but the truth.
Man, go with that, Geach.
I totally agree. And the last part is, I think, the biggest part of it. Because when you see your leader, the guy that works the hardest, in first, out last, you hear Darren Woodson say the type of work ethic that Dak has, have to fight to get a contract. What does that do for the morale of your locker room? How can you really come out there and give 100% to that organization every day when you seeing the politics and the favoritism? So it's like, if y'all don't want to pay him, if y'all don't really want him around, quit dragging him along. Like, quit playing with him. Because when y'all signed Tony Romo, Jerry came out and said, I think Romo can win our Super Bowls. When he talked about Dak, he says, I think Dak can win us games. So it's some kind of disconnect there between even Jerry and Dak. And it seems like he don't even have that relationship that Jerry and Romo had. And I'm wondering if that's part of the problem too. That Dak's not buddy with Jerry like how Romo was.
Buddy.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, obviously there is a lack of belief in Dak Prescott. At this point, I think we're just stating the obvious, right? But I believe that what's on the horizon for Dak Prescott, unfortunately, is somewhat of a situation that Drew Brees, when he left the Dolphins and he was signed underneath Sean Payton to the Saints. And he exploded and just had a mega career and, Hall of Fame quarterback type of career based on his work ethic, tenacity, and commitment to excellence. And if the Cowboys are ultimately not going to be committed to Dak Prescott, then unfortunately, guys, we gotta hope we get a good quarterback in here that can replace Dak Prescott, because he's going to go on and get a long-term big mega contract with some other team, and he's going to go on to have a great career, and then he's going to be especially looking forward to playing the Cowboys.
Oh, you switched that. Yeah, man. Like, my thing I want to concentrate on is the fact that I'm bracing myself to really fully I'm going to put my glasses on for this. When I talk like this, I'm talking about clear out view stuff. So, both of those guys played during the Super Bowl era. They played in it. They know the difference. And both of those guys talked about the brand and the marketing and winning not being first. I'm gonna say this over and over. I've said this. I came to this last year, but now I've been saying it a lot. Winning is not first in Dallas. Winning is third. The first thing I think that goes on with Dallas is ego. That's the first thing that it's about, is appearing right and being right in the public. That's very important to Jerry and Steven over winning. 2 is money. Because the reason why they always use their best players as whipping boys is because it keeps them in the headlines. Okay? And those headlines come first. So I was talking to some guys today, and it's pretty sad what they're doing at this point. Because Dak came out and talked about dealing with a mental disorder. If you ever dealt with anybody that dealt with a mental disorder, money don't fix that. Okay? It's important to know that when somebody has a mental disorder, because you think Dak got $31 million in the bank and all these endorsements, don't think that he's not in a vulnerable place, because our organization has been constantly dripping at his psyche. Even on a bye week in 2019, when it was his time to rest and get his mind off football, just for 1 weekend. Oh, that was Steven's time to come out with a public statement where he said, we're trying to get Dak done. We're just trying to get him to understand that we're trying to put weapons around him. If we can basically get him to get that, we'll get the deal done. In other words, it's his fault that the deal is not done. But you never talk to Dak. It came out later that you stopped talking to Dak on week 3. But you want to talk about Dak in the public around week 8 or 9. So it's winning and it's not first. And those guys that bled for the star, they still got pride in the product. And they speaking out. Now, Emmett, I'm going to put these glasses on the end again. Because I don't trust Emmett. My 4th grade teacher used to always say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? That's real important because Emmett already threw Dak under the bus last year. Y'all remember that? Because what he did, take notes on this. You can Google this.
Yep.
It's there. He said Dak need to take $28 million. He said that last year when the market was $35 million, and it was clear that it was $35 million. He said he need to take $28 million so Cooper can have some. Really? Emmett, you in commercial real estate. You know numbers. You know better than that. And so for you to try to get Dak to go that team friendly, I looked into his background. And what I found is that Jerry feeds Emmett deals. That's what happened because both of those guys are in commercial real estate. So when certain things come out from certain people, I look at it twice. Like Darren Woodson, I feel a lot better about because Darren Woodson at that same time said the opposite immediately after Emmett. Like, no, don't count Dak endorsement money. That's what he said. He said, don't count Dak's endorsement money because that's not guaranteed. That's number one. My boy West Coast did an excellent, we talking about this tomorrow too. I'm going to show with him. He brought out something that I just died on. My boy found out, I think the source was Forbes, that guess what, OC? Guess what, Gucci? The top 10 endorsed athletes and football players, none of them Cowboys. Did you know that? That's crazy. Now, they saying all of us, or not all of us, because I'm not in that, but they saying all of their best need to give discounts. Because you play for the star. But then if I go look at the report card, I don't see none of our guys on the list getting paid. Even Dak. So it's other guys that's killing on endorsements without a star, more than a star, but they being used like, if you play for Dallas, you're going to be those guys. But I don't see my guys on that Forbes list. So it's that thing that Jerry and them is pulling, man, and Emmett, I don't trust you. So it make me look and say, it get all crazy because I did move into conspiracy theory, OC and Geach. I start saying, Emmett, why you talking? Are you trying to gear up the fans and poll test to see if we willing to riot over that? Why you talking? Because every time you talk, I don't know. Am I tripping, Geach?
No, I don't think you're tripping. I mean, no, you're not tripping at all because, like you said, he came out last year talking about that money, saying that Jerry them do want him, but they just want him at a discount price. And now talking on two tongues, saying they not committed to him. But last year you just said they were committed to him, but he just needs to be committed for their price. So, I mean, I don't understand what he's doing with this. Like, did him and Jerry have a fallout here in the last couple of weeks? Like, is he trying to get back on the good graces of us colored people? Like, I don't know what Emmett, like, what he trying to do by that. Like,
man, I don't know what Emmett doing. I don't know. I just really want Emmett to go away. Like, I mean, I like you in business. I love your history. Yeah. But when it comes to talking about Dak, you to me ruined it. Like, I don't want to hear from you. Go ahead. I see you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Geach. What you saying, Geach?
No. I just was saying, especially when Emmett sat out for a contract himself,
right?
Because of he knew his worth. So how can you even talk about Dak not taking what he feels like he's worth?
Right. Yeah, man. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, man, shame on me, bro. You already showed who you are. I'd be a stupid fool to run right back in your lap like you the homie. What you got on that, O?
Yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, man, everybody is positioning for their name to be right in the situation. So on Dak Prescott's side, his agents don't want to lose, right? They don't want to lose. They're committed to not losing, right? And Dak Prescott is committed to not losing. On the Cowboys side, they're committed to not losing. They're committing to being able to go to sleep and have a private meeting or dinner amongst their family, a ranch or what have you, to say, yeah, we end up winning on this contract. We just smoked them out. So it's a whole really, really negative narrative and situation right now. And unless somebody gives, and here's my theory on this, I don't think anybody gives. And I think that's the issue here. I think that's.
Oh, I cut you off, OC. I'm sorry. Go. Go.
No. I'm saying I don't think anybody gives, and I think that's why Dak Prescott ends up playing underneath this exclusive franchise tag again. Because at the end of the day, Dak's team is not going to give. Dak has feel like on the personal level that he suffered. He suffered with being badgered and scrutinized and not accepted in the Dallas media. Right, he suffered with mental depression or disorders.
Mm-hmm.
He suffered with the death of his brother, the death of his mother,
Right.
and he's laid his life down, he feels like, for the organization. I'm just talking from his perspective, right? If I'm in Dak's shoes, right? I've outperformed my contract. I've given everything I could give. I'm not losing on this. I refuse to lose on this. And you know what? I agree with that. I agree with Dak. Now, the Cowboys think that, no, we got to save face. They can pay Dak Prescott. We got to show the standard and hold up the banner that we are a tough negotiating team and that we will ultimately do what we feel like is best for the organization, even if the basis of that is ego. It's family pride and ego, right? So on both sides of it, man, we got two sides of the same coin. It's just in different ways, and ultimately it's going to hurt the organization. And I agree greatly with Tony Castillo and his comments, and that's where I think things are.
Man,
Yeah.
see, you brought up family too. Let's talk about that real quick. Because Jerry Jones' grandson, in a poll, I think it was an Instagram poll, they had a question where they said vote to keep Dak or let go. And Jerry's grandson voted to let go. Because you just said family ego. OC, gonna speak on that, because you know.
Yeah. I think that the family dynamics are of control and putting our foot down. And right now, the Cowboys are three generations deep, right, in billion-dollar money. So in families, it becomes a culture. It becomes an attitude. It becomes the air of how we deal with employees. How we deal with people that we feel like we're better than or that are beneath us in some kind of way. And here's the thing that we don't know, Boss Cowboy and Geach. I think it was something at some point that happened privately that we don't know about that affected their stance and how they're going to deal with Dak. Because logically, theoretically, cap-wise, performance-wise, no otherwise does this make sense. There was something behind closed doors in some scenario or situation that happened that made them have this particular erroneous stance with Dak Prescott. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Go Geach.
And we talked about this too, boss.
Yeah.
Gary uses some of his minions to get his words out, right?
Yep.
So if we've been listening to Skip here a lot, even over the last year and a half, what has he been saying? Dak just needs to pick up the phone and call Jerry. He won't talk to Jerry. Like Jerry loves his kids, but you just gotta treat him like the granddaddy. You gotta kiss the ring of the ball boss, you know. And that's why I think the problem is coming in that is that Dak's not bowing down to Jerry. But they don't. What a lot of the fans don't understand is that's why Dak has so much control of that locker room like he does, is because he's not buddy with Jerry. So I totally think the problem is right now is some kind of disconnect between Dak and Jerry, and I think Jerry is starting to feel like, who do you think you are to keep turning down my deals? And I'm offering you all this money to be the highest paid Dallas Cowboy ever. And I don't want to put race into it, but do they feel like they don't want to bow down to a black man or give a black man that much money and let a black quarterback be the face of the Cowboys franchise? Like, because like Emmett said, when you don't pay him, you're starting to leave everything out here for us to talk about and think about. We can't ignore that.
Yeah, Geach. I think that you bring up.
Go ahead.
No, just real quick, and then Boss Cowboy, I want you to just jump in and take this. No, I don't think it's per se a race thing. I think it's an ego thing, Geach. I think it's a thing that you are not go regard us like that. We have a certain way that we want to be regarded and treated and looked to and catered to, and unless you give us that, then we're not giving you what you want because you don't, as you said, kiss the ring. And we can see evidence of that in the organization, Boss Cowboy, because we see people like who should have been cut 5 years ago based on his performance and his physical deterioration, even though he's a Hall of Fame tight end, Jason Witten. He should have been out here 5 years ago. Based on how slow he is, based on his athletic ability, based on all the things that you would do to evaluate a player on the decline. So several other players that we've talked about on this show that will end up probably getting re-signed because obviously they've played the game, Boss Cowboy. They've played the game in the appropriate way to get what they wanted to get. And Dak has not played the game the way they want him to play the game. And that's what this whole thing is coming down to, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, man, this bothered me. This really bothered me right here, man. This bothered me. I don't know if it's immaturity. I don't know if it was just playing too much. But I don't like one of the main introductions to the grandson is controversy to my quarterback. I don't know if you mean that. I don't know if you're trying to learn a trade of drumming up stories, because it's a trade to Jerry and Steven. They know how to drum up stories and cause headlines. Are we seeing the making of the third generation of drama? The way to go ahead, OC. Go ahead.
No, you go, but I'm just chiming in saying yes. That's what you're seeing, boss. Go ahead.
Because I'm going through multiple theories. I don't know if any one of them true, but I'm very, very bothered by this, man. I'm bothered. Do you really mean that? And if you mean let him go, where are you getting at? Are you getting that because you've been in the talking to your dad, talking to your granddad? Are you just a little jerk? Are you dead serious? Man. The whole thing really just starting to make me sick because it's a difference in us and the Joneses. We love the Cowboys because some of us love it because we've identified as that's our team. Some of it is our city. Some of it is what we do for a living. There's a lot of reasons why the people love the Cowboys. But they mix so much business and football, we just not go agree. Because it's almost on the scene like everybody in that family does that except Charlotte and the other, but Steve and Jerry and not his grandson, now he coming up like I want you introduced because you've learned how to be great in the personnel department. I don't want to see him in drama and Instagram pose. I don't, because it's more drama, it's more leaks and dripping on your quarterback psyche. It's more public drama and Kardashian stuff. Go ahead, Geach.
The apple don't fall far from the tree, man.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say we wish and hope that doesn't happen, but that's all he knows. That's all he's seen his whole life. And it's bad enough that he plays the same position that Dak plays. And we've even
So that was the quarterback son? Which son was it? We'll double check.
Was it? Yeah,
we'll
okay.
Well,
I'm hoping it was. Yeah, and I'm hoping it wasn't the quarterback son. I pray it wasn't, because he plays the same position, and you already got some fans saying we're gonna draft him when he comes out of the draft.
Yeah,
you know. So it's just like, when is enough going to be enough? Like, this way doesn't work, and that goes back to show that it is more about the market and the brand than it is about winning. Because if it wasn't, they would shut up, they would go to work, they would build a team, and we would go and win football games. They would sit back like other owners do, and they wouldn't be on the radio every Tuesday. They wouldn't be talking after every game. So now it's just it's a way of life. And I think as fans, as sadly as it is, we have to accept that. And it's sad, and we tied in like this blood, like we bleed blue and silver, and that's the problem. They got us, and we ain't going nowhere, regardless of the product that they put on the field.
All right, solution
Regardless
time.
if we don't win the Super Bowl.
Solution time. I don't accept that, Geach. Nope. I don't accept that.
We still filling out
that.
Still filling out the stadiums, boss.
No.
We still tuning in.
So
like
that's why I'm saying I don't accept that. He don't got us like that. He got us like that if we choose to be got like that. So at some point, what we go do? Like what we go do? Where we go show Jerry? Where we go show Jerry that we tired? Because if we don't show Jerry we tired, we gotta act just like his best players act when they trying to get paid. The only way you get Jerry attention is his money. So when D-Law used his shoulder as leverage for his negotiation, he was put first. And then the person that was put second was the dude who held out, who was Zeke. And also, Zach Martin also held out. He didn't go to the OTAs for 3 days. That's when he got paid. So it's like we see the pattern. So for us to know how they pay people, why should we just accept that, hey, let's just not change? How about we don't tailgate? How about we do like Dak, who stopped rocking the Cowboy brand in protest? How about we stop putting all their gear on everywhere and being a marketing PR person for Jerry? Like, why don't we do some things to actually change, because they not changing, because we also being like Dak. We say, hey, Dak is too friendly, he need to be mean. We too friendly. You see what I'm saying? So like at some point, when do we show Jerry with our pockets and our dollars and with our economy and with our support that we don't like what you're doing? We don't like the product.
Yeah, that's very possible, Boss Cowboy, but you got to get enough Cowboy fans to do that where it's significant. And to be honest with you, most Cowboy fans are not educated enough to see that Dak Prescott has been done dead wrong in this situation, or there are some allegiances and or biases because of cultural discrepancies that will cause them to say, we love the Cowboys, forget Dak, get another quarterback. That's what I think, Boss Cowboy. So you got to have enough of the population in order for that to be effective.
Also, man, Geechee, he spent this time, it was his birthday today. It's probably over now. But y'all please say happy birthday to my boy Geech, man.
Happy birthday, Geech.
Yeah, he talking Cowboy talk actually on his birthday, man. He could have been sitting up, having a drink, one last celebration with his family at the last minute. He chose to spend it with us. So obviously, I really appreciate that, Geech, man, as we doing this. The last thing I want to talk about, and then we out of here, man, just let everybody, go, is Emmett brought up Romo. And then I just want to talk about this because I think a lot of people have been getting this wrong. The truth about Romo, okay, is when you look at their production, both of them are almost identical down the line. Both of them had their strengths and weaknesses. I'm not going to get into who better today. I will, but not today. But the main thing I want to say is he said that they believed in him from the rip. That's what Emmett said, from the rip. No. Emmett got the same treatment. That's what most people don't know. Emmett got not Emmett. Emmett too. But Romo got the same treatment. Like, I know the history of how they did Romo, and I looked at all the Romo contracts. They was bad. They was bad, man. He didn't have no good contracts. Like, he only, and I'm going to get into this, I'm going to prove this later on this week. I'm going to get into this in detail. Y'all going to fully understand when we get into the real money, because we going to go deeper than anybody. I promise you. I promise you. I've been working on this for 2 days. Geech will tell you. OC will tell you. It's going to be clear. But the thing about Romo, he signed for 14% of the cap. The average is 16 at that time. And he did a 6-year contract. That's the only reason it was $100 million contract, because it was long. The problem with those long-term contracts is that you rob your players of their youth and you cheat them from being able to re-up an increased market. And I'm going to prove that later on this week. Well, I'm going to make it clear because I see it in my head. Most people that's good at this see it in their head. I'm going to actually show you and illustrate it. That way we all very clear on that and we on the same page. But now it was a bad contract. I'm going to just say it like this. Jerry and them, so I tell you why I think they don't like that. And I'm gonna prove this also later this week. Jerry already came out. He said, look, I deal with these contracts all the time. This stuff new to them. This money new to them. He literally said it like that. You know what I mean? Not in those exact words, but he was like, I deal with this. This is my 100th negotiation. And he was saying that about Tank, right? So in his mind, you know, I showed this a lot. I'm going to show this one more time, but we go get way better at breaking this down. They used to getting over on all their best. But now they dealing with a guy that's seeing the game. He like, nah, you not gonna pay me less than my counterparts. That's they after all of these wins, because believe me, all of the contracts that you looking at right here were exponential wins for the Cowboys because they signed all these guys to longer term contracts than their peers. It gives them room to be able to move money around. It robs the players of their youth. They can't re-up the same. The person that's getting done the worst is Tyron Smith. He signed an 8-year contract. It was all time when he signed it. But now, because he never read it up, guess what? He still, when he plays, is a top 5 talent, but now he's paid actually almost middle of the pack and never read up on it. And so when you got over on all these guys, got over on every one of them, Cooper counterparts get 4-year contracts. Zeke counterparts get 4-year contracts. Jalen counterparts get 4-year contracts. Zach Martin, he broke the market, but he was in a 6-year contract. Same with Frederick. This is a pattern, y'all. This is not an accident. They good at this. They're very good at this. So yeah, that the Romo thing, people they getting that wrong, and I don't ever want to be a channel to where we're emotional, like where we blame gaming. Like I want us to be, you know, accurate and factual. Like, nah, bro, let's say what it really is. It's the fact that they so used to getting over. They not used to a guy like that who know how to stand his ground and say, nah, man, I ain't taking no deal like that.
Capitalist society.
Yeah, and they not used to it. They like, hold on. Like, everybody bends to us. And Dak like, nah, I ain't bending. and the way y'all trying to bend me over is actually disrespectful. And that's another subject. I'm not going to get into that right now. But yeah, man, I tell you what, I'm going to tell y'all. And before we get out of here, I mean this too. Please, y'all go over to that YouTube. Do all the steps you seeing. I'm going to do it again. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that bell. We need y'all to do that because we're going to start posting content only on Facebook on YouTube on certain things. The OC has already queued up a bunch of quality videos, okay? And we're going to only release them on YouTube, okay? So you're not going to get those through Facebook. But also continue to do what y'all doing on Facebook because we still, growing very strong on Facebook. But we do need y'all to go over there to YouTube and hit those buttons, to get those subscribes up because we also going for benchmarks. But you definitely won't see the material that the OC is getting ready to come out with unless you do that. I'm also featuring a video. I'm not going to even get a title yet. I'm going to just surprise y'all with it. But trust me, it's going to be exponential fire. Trust me, it's going to be exponential fire. It's going to have a lot to do with what we discussed tonight, but it's going to be in depth. It's going to have a bunch of facts, and you're going to love it. Trust me, it's going to be my best video I've ever done. Believe me. I've been working on this already 2 days, so it's going to take about 12 hours of research to give you about 6 minutes of solid facts that's going to change you. Because I'm going to tell you, when I've been doing my research, it changed me. I see some stuff that's coming that actually made me ashamed of my organization. But y'all gonna have to tune in and do those steps to see that. So before I get out of here, man, let's first talk to the birthday boy. All right. And let's tell them where they can find you, Geach.
You can find me on Twitter at Geechee Cowboy, and we're currently working on getting that BCS page up, and my Geechee Cowboy page on Facebook too, and Instagram. But right now, Twitter, Geechee Cowboy. That's what you can find me at.
Yeah. All right. And the OC.
Just hey, check me out at CB the OC on Instagram, CB the OC on Instagram, and I'll keep you posted when we get some other stuff together for you. Appreciate the love.
Got you. And then you got your boy Boss Cowboy. Obviously, all of my stuff you're gonna see at Boss Cowboy Sports. And I also thank everybody that's been supporting Boss Cowboy Sports on Twitter. Twitter's starting to really pop for me. I mean, I really didn't like Twitter. I'm starting to actually love Twitter. Twitter's starting to, I'm like, man, Twitter, woo! So y'all go see how Twitter's really pop. And then obviously the Instagram is Boss Cowboy Sports, and you gonna see a lot more activity on there in the coming months. And then obviously YouTube, do your thing. Y'all go over there and hit that like and subscribe, because y'all know we giving y'all the business. We unshamefully giving you the business. And then also, we appreciate all of those who, put us a couple of dollars, and some of y'all have really blessed the show because y'all really appreciate the content, and I appreciate y'all for putting, some real money in there, because obviously this stuff ain't free, but we do our best to try to give you the best content possible. But we obviously, really appreciate everybody that support Boss Cowboy Sports. Y'all make sure y'all also say happy birthday to my boy again, my boy Geach. And y'all definitely say what's up to my boy the OC before we get out of here. And y'all definitely make sure y'all take care. And remember, we loyal here. We not devoted. So we gonna tell you the truth, even if it hurt. But we mean well. Believe that.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.